We were in the tailgate. It's fun. Where you can't really take it good anymore.
Good evening, everybody. If I could have everyone please take their seats so we can get started on time. Thank you.
Actually, up to Canada, we were coming back to the
You want to be in there? Right there. Oh, it's a lake. That's nice.
You had live feed right there?
No, this is for YouTube. I just want to see if it works.
That's live at?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm going to show.
What
They can hear us talk right now.
What?
They can hear us talk right now.
Oh, really? Oh, hey! Go Angels. Really? I'll make sure I'll watch them later.
He is. I wish I had thought of it. Yes.
I understand. You know what, John? The bench is so good. We'll do it by camera. I got a guy. Woman on the hook.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2021. We ask that you stay seated as the graduates process in. Thank you very much, and we hope you enjoy the ceremony.
Hey!
That's me. Are your grandparents watching?
I'd like to invite everyone to please stand, and I would also like to invite forward Giada and Cade for the opening prayer and the reading for this evening.
God, the creator of all things, we, the OLA class of 2021, gather tonight to think and to remember, to dream and to plan. As we look about your creation, we see your presence around us as a living God, caring for us and helping each of us to shape the future. Give us faith to see you in the face of each person we meet and to hear your voice in the words of those who are in need. As we come together tonight with our parents, families, priests, teachers, and friends, we thank you, Heavenly Father, for all that we are, and we ask for your blessings for all we will become as we continue to grow and mature.
Please be seated. A reading from the letter of St. Paul to the Colossians. Brothers and sisters, God loves you and has chosen you as his own special people.
That we wish was here. Know that even though they are not here in person, we feel their presence in our heart. Today is a much anticipated day that we have seen class by class go through. It's now our turn, and while this year looked different than any other year, here we are today to celebrate our resilience, commitment, fortitude, and yes, the OLA class of 2021. I truly believe that we are always angels for life. Now off to Luke as we share our memories of our journey from the garden to our graduation today.
I think I could say this for all of us. We have some of the best parents in the world. The care and effort they invest into us, doing everything in their power to help with anything, means the world to all of us. To our moms and dads, even though we aren't always the best at saying it, we love you and see all that you do for us. We mean everything. Let's start with kindergarten. Was I the only one who originally thought it was an actual garden? Probably. Well, sure, gardens are nice, but not as nice as kindergarten at OLA. For a lot of us, OLA was a whole lot of new. New people, new environment, new teachers, new friends. That newness changed pretty quickly. Soon enough, we were becoming members of the OLA family. Kindergarten was full of things that allowed for us to feel like we were really becoming part of this school, such as having older 8th grade buddies, going to our first fun fair, and being the special star. I don't think OLA could have done a better job making us feel more welcomed. Some of our most memorable teachers would have to be Mrs. Burney and Mrs. Goldstein for their funny personalities and how they always managed to put a smile on your face. Our love for science started at a young age with Dr. Goldstein. While we didn't know what kind of scientist she was, the laughs and experiments we did fostered our love for learning early on. As we began to get more comfortable with our situation, personalities began to show. Even at the beginning of OLA, we had quite the competitive recesses. We enjoyed competing in whatever game was being played. Some people showed their fueled competitiveness and clutched up before the recess bell rang. A big part of recess in kindergarten was the play structure. Though it was made for playing on, we all remember a certain someone kissing girls at the bottom of the slide. As kindergarten was coming to an end, the bonds of friendship were already taking root. To this day, they are still going strong.
After the summer of 2013, we were now in first grade. We were all super excited to have a real desk that opened and closed. We were privileged enough to be Miss Tognetti's first class at OLA, and we loved our wonderful aides, Mrs. Veach and Mrs. Peterson. Miss T knew the importance of brain breaks, also known as time to go outside and play tag, and we sure loved them. Our brand new first grade classroom was filled with drinking new books, animal reports, a spirit of adventure, and our first class field trip to the pumpkin patch. Miss T always reminded us to be curious and ask questions. We began to learn about real subjects in first grade. Some kids really started to stand out for their exceptional brightness, while others started to stand out for their athleticism on the yard as we started playing more organized games like kickball. First grade was when we also introduced the pin chart, and I never moved mine down. We had Mrs. Scholes for the first of 3 years of primary reading. She always chose the best read-alouds. Our class was fascinated by the idea of not being the youngest kids at school, but sometimes we still acted like we were. Even after just 1 year, our compassion for each other started to show, and we began to really connect with each other. We became more comfortable with each other and created friendships we have today.
By the time second grade came along, we were really getting the hang of being a student. The school was beginning to feel like our second home. Second grade was a huge year because of our first reconciliation and first Holy Communion. Mrs. Vincent and Mrs. Nyland guided us so that our connection to God and our community could grow. Through our 2 sacraments that we received that year, we became closer to God and began to understand Him more. We all remember the feeling of having all of our banners lined up in the church pews. This was one of the first times in our lives where we really got to dress nice. All the girls felt like princesses for the day with their beautiful white dresses. Boys were wondering why we couldn't wear sweats and a tee, but at the same time felt pretty clean in their suits. While receiving the Eucharist for the very first time was something that we will never forget, having our own special class Mass where we celebrated communion with the whole school is a treasured memory for all of us. We completed many awesome projects with Mrs. Vincent. We all dressed up as saints, got to share our favorite animal with each other, learned about the Mayflower during Thanksgiving, and spent afternoons in the schoolyard working on science projects. Who could forget Pack a Suitcase, where we got to explore our family roots and share them with each other. One of our favorite field trips this year was when we went to the Exploratorium, where we got to see and interact with different science exhibits. Second grade was also the year that families in our class established our school garden. We were so happy that members of our class were responsible for such a great contribution to the school. In the second grade classroom, our seating arrangement were constantly changing, which most of us liked. We would always want to be sitting next to our friends, or in some cases crushes. Imagine a time when a bad seat was the biggest of our worries. Miss Vincent was constantly drilling the idea, fly like an eagle, not like a seagull, into our heads. Second grade was moving along, and soon enough we were past another year. Geez, it's funny how fast these years seem to go by now.
We made it to 3rd grade, and we were excited to be Mrs. Barella's first class at OLA, along with our aide, Mrs. Dorn. They both had a great presence, and our classroom also felt very welcoming. 3rd grade was one of those awkward years, where you are not the youngest, but definitely not the oldest. We went on some really cool field trips and always had a blast with our friends. One of our favorite field trips was to the San Mateo County History Museum, where we learned about Native Americans and our history. For the first time, we were motivated by letter grades. We had plenty of opportunities to achieve success and work towards our goals. We all gave compelling presentations called Discovery Quests. We did one almost every month. It was also the first year we had Spanish with Senora Skelton. One of our favorite read-alouds was Charlotte's Web. We all cried at the end. The recess yard was getting more and more fun, but also competitive. There were a few times where things got a bit too heated on the yard. Thankfully, we have some pretty calm classmates that help to keep the peace.
Yeah, I wish I could say I was one of them.
3rd grade was the first year we really took notice of and understood what it meant to be an 8th grader at OLA. We loved watching them at the play and cheering for them as they paraded through the school to their luncheon. It feels surreal that we got to experience the parade for ourselves yesterday. Ultimately, by the end of 3rd grade, we were ready for our last 2 years on the breezeway.
4th grade was one of our favorite classrooms because of all the bright colors. Or maybe the candy that was hidden in the closet. Miss Jones was always a friendly face, and she could always make you smile. We loved having Mrs. DeLucci as our aide. We no longer split for reading, but now had 2 math classes. Miss McMorrow taught some of us math in the 4th and 5th grades. The kids in our class always came back with treats and goodie bags, and were even giving handfuls of Skittles after class. The most memorable event in 4th grade has to be Gold Camp. For most of us, this was our first time staying away from family for more than one night. Being with our class for a few nights was something that we will never forget. Some of us were more nervous to leave than others. When we got to the site, there was so much excitement for the cabins that we soon all forgot about alien. We did many fun activities, such as dissecting owl pellets, scenic hikes, mining for gold, and exploring the Moaning Caverns. We came home with souvenirs and memories to last a lifetime. The 3 days were a very special experience and a time we will all cherish. Fourth grade was also the year we started playing OLA school sports. Playing baseball, volleyball, and basketball for our school was something that we all had been looking forward to, and it was finally our turn. Our whole class is filled with very passionate student athletes, and we were all super excited to play with our friends and for our school. A fun project that we did in the fourth grade classroom was Famous Californians, and we sure saw a ton of tiny celebrities, such as Klay Thompson,
And Marilyn Monroe, boop boop be doo.
Another California project that we did was our mission reports. We tore up tons of paper to create a terror art image of our assigned mission. We also used salt dough to make a map of the regions and elevations of California. We were experts on California, but there were still 49 other states for us to become experts on 5th grade.
Finally, we were at the end of the breezeway. Mrs. Help had the Harry Potter themed classroom, and we all loved to switch our houses, whether it was Gryffindor or Slytherin. We got to spend another year with Mrs. Doran as our aide. We were also on the older side of buddies for the first time, and we were getting very close to middle school. In class, we learned about 50 states. Those catchy songs really helped. We all also developed a passion for the game Stack the States, along with all the various Quizlets, which really fueled our competitive nature. The presidents also visited our school when we did the Hall of Presidents. Our hard work had paid off when we saw the excitement on the kids' faces. The walk through the American Revolution brought history to life for us. We also brought history to life when we listened to Hamilton and performed My Shot in the talent show. Our whole class performed together that year in a very unique talent show that Mr. Matei organized. Obviously, Mr. Matei was impressed with their vocal skills as he chose our class to perform in the Archdiocese Choral Festival that year. We looked forward to fun Fridays in 5th grade. We would spend all week estimating the candy jackpot for Mystery Angel. So many of us tried to be on our best behavior in hopes of sitting in Father Flavian's wonderful chair.
5th grade was also the year that we joined the track team here at OLA. The thing about track is it really brings everyone together. Track isn't just a boy or girl sport, it's everyone in every class on the track together. If you ask me, it's one of the best things to unite people. I may or may not be biased in this department.
5th grade was also the first year we had Senor Verduga for Spanish. Senor Verduga is always in such a great mood. His Spanish classes are always so unique, and he does a great job of immersing us in all in the language. The next year, we were ready for middle school. Thanks to Mrs. Help and Mrs. Doran for raising our game.
6th grade was the big leagues. We were officially middle schoolers. We had to learn how to juggle switching classes and keeping our lockers organized. The workload was definitely picking up. Though it was quite tough, Miss Lentz was helping us become confident and capable writers. I know that the tough love that she showed us absolutely benefited us in high school. Sports were intensifying too, and we were all becoming more and more dedicated to them.
The OLA gym exploded with enthusiasm after the girls won the basketball championship. It was the first big win we had experienced together and made us all the more excited to continue participating in OLA sports.
We also had the opportunity to go to outdoor ed in 6th grade. Mrs. Lentz was always quick to help whenever people were homesick or maybe having too much fun. We were the last class to go to this trip due to COVID. We are truly blessed in this sense, though we did not realize it at the time. We met new people, learned about God's creation, had plenty of time to reflect, and obviously had a lot of fun. We played gaga ball, did archery, swam in the rain, kayaked, and went on night hikes. The most memorable moment of outdoor ed was the talent show, especially Take Me Home, Country Roads, and the Charlie Brown song on the piano. Little did we know that 6th grade was our one and only normal middle school year here at OLA.
We were now approaching our second to last year at OLA. 7th grade was also the year where everything started normal but ended with a plethora of Zoom calls. Everyone told us middle school would zoom by, We didn't realize what that would mean. Our 7th grade teacher, Mrs. Ruane, is one of the nicest, most understanding teachers ever, and her literature classes were definitely a favorite. We read The Giver with her, and it remains one of our favorite books. We learned to count our blessings, which was a good lesson for what lay ahead. We started to feel the pressure of the importance of our 7th grade year. With high school looming in the near future, we were definitely more focused on our grades. It was also the year where we got to become more mature and take on leadership roles in the student council. We were excited to do pep rallies and to participate in student council meetings. Another huge deal for us was being able to eat in the quad and play in the upper yard. Dr. Popper, our school counselor, was there for us in 7th grade with some fun icebreaker activities that helped to bond our class together even more. At the baseball field, we would cheer our loudest for our classmates, which helped the boys win the baseball championship. When school shut down in March of last year, we were looking forward to what we would thought to be an extended Easter vacation. But those 2 weeks kept getting extended, and we soon realized how much we missed. Once COVID hit, our teachers got creative, which helped ease the challenges of distance learning. Mr. Matei's morning reports every day gave us a sense of security and normalcy. We learned a lot about each other when we did the how-to video project during quarantine. We have some pretty unique and talented classmates with the interests that include baking, golfing, surfing, and cooking. 7th grade was a year that may have started better than it finished, but we can't look past the fact that we learned so much from this experience.
We had finally made it for our final year here at OLA, without really an ideal start. With COVID at its worst, we were forced to start our first day of 8th grade on our computer and tablets from home. It was quite a lot of screen time for everyone. This was a very trying and difficult time for all of us.
Being student body president was definitely not what I expected when I ran last spring, but thanks to our student council moderators, Mrs. Ruane and Mr. Matei, we were still able to do most of the normal morning assembly activities each day with the morning report.
Mrs. Wilson, who joined our school when we were still on Zoom, kept a brave face and a positive attitude. She managed to learn all of our names and personality as quickly as can be. We did virtual labs, which kept science class fun, even though we hadn't met her in person yet. As our year went on, we missed a lot of the usual 8th grade events. Luckily, we were able to experience some traditions in a new way this year. We still were able to lead school families and have our kindergarten buddies. When we met with our buddies often to do projects over Zoom and eventually in person. One of the best days of quarantine was the drive-through Halloween parade. We were so happy to be able to dress up together and drive through the school for the first time in quite a while. Being on campus was much needed for all of us. The teachers worked relentlessly to get us back in school. Props to Ms. Torrey, who was able to watch half the class when, in November, we finally returned to cohorts. Even though the weeks when your cohort was in the 4th grade room were more difficult, to say the least, we were so grateful to be in person at all. We definitely learned how to count our blessings this year. As the school year progressed, our schedule changed again. Instead of going to school in the afternoon, now half of us would be here in the morning and half of us were here in the afternoon. Finally, after Easter and more than a year since our extended Easter break, we were told that we would be coming back to a full day in person all together in one classroom. Our first day of 8th grade was April 19th. Wow. Fortunately, Ms. Torrey was back to her favorite activity of watching over us at recess, always with a loving smile on her face. We were blessed enough to get one final chance to compete for our school through our 2021 track season. We made it work even with all the COVID restrictions. Some of us even worked out at 6:30 a.m. before school to get the work in to succeed. We even managed to get one last meet, which meant the world to all of us 8th graders. We have had a lot of PE teachers over the years, but Mr. Barry had to start his time teaching PE on Zoom. Mr. Barry has been a great PE teacher this year. PE is such a fun class, and you guys all know, it's my favorite. We were also able to perform for our school one last time as a class in in the production of Frozen Jr. We spent all year wondering if we would even have a play. For a while, we were afraid that it would be on Zoom, and Miss Burns tried to make us think that we weren't even going to be able to do it. We spent so many hours outside for rehearsals, and some of us are still rocking the mask tans. So many of our classmates really shined and stepped out of their comfort zones to contribute to our show. Thank you again to Mr. Matei, Miss Burns, Mrs. Goldstein, for your patience and perseverance to get us to the final performance. The year has flown by, and now we find ourselves here. I don't know about you guys, but this barely feels real.
Gerald Way once said, "Heroes are ordinary people who make themselves extraordinary." To some, a hero may be one we see in the movie, but this year especially, our clergy and faculty have been our heroes. Their dedication to the students here and to the families at OLA has been incredible, even in a very unusual year. To me, they were always the sign of hope, and I'm sure they are also the reason we all had faith. We want to thank Father Michael for his amazing homilies and being a great pastor at OLA. Father Brian for when he teaches us in the classroom, Father James for his kindness, Father Moses for his friendly smile, Father David for milk for the missions, and for Father Flav and his joy that he brought to OLA. Thank you for continuing to provide us with virtual school masses, which have continued to bring us closer to God, even though we were watching the video from our homes and classrooms. We also want to thank Mr. Chris because his Friday talks have made us stronger in our faith, and he has helped us in receiving the sacrament of confirmation. We thank you for putting us on the right path of our religious faith and reminding us to always have hope. We would like to recognize Mrs. Costa as another hero. Mrs. Costa has been giving us all hope from the beginning with her optimistic attitude towards us returning to school. We did it, and we have Mrs. Costa and the faculty and staff to thank for that. We also want to appreciate Mrs. McMorrow and the cheer she always greets us with. She always made sure we were doing the right thing and representing OLA in the best way possible. Mrs. Shanley is always a great helper at school, and she is always getting things done so that our school can run smoothly, even during the roughest years yet. We also have to thank our wonderful teacher, Miss Burns. The amount of effort and heart that she put into our class this year is amazing and inspiring. She can often be hard on us, but that is because people who love you always want you to do your best. Thank you for everything, Miss Burns. You mean the world to us. Once again, congratulations on the engagement too. We also want to thank our resource teachers who have helped us over the years. Mrs. Charts, Mrs. Verity, Mrs. Seco, and Mrs. Montross. We know that you are all amazing and have helped many of us achieve success. You may not see these people a ton, but they sure do a lot. Mrs. Ferrari and Mrs. Moon have always been great in extending care. In art, Mrs. Friedland always made our paintings more abstract. Mr. Carlos has always been a constant in our lives for the past 9 years, and he has made the school and parish look better than he found it. Our sports coaches have inspired us to always play our best and to have great sportsmanship. And thank you to all the parents who have worked to help our school thrive. Over this year, we learned so much, and most of it was not from school. We learned to be thankful because we lost so much and missed so much. We learned to be happy because we should always enjoy the things we have. We learned that God is always and will always be there for us. And most importantly, we learned to be patient and always have hope, especially during uncertain times. The unconditional and selfless love we have all felt from the community here has been something incredible. From St. Paul's letter to the Corinthians, we hear, "Now, brothers and sisters, I want to remind you of the gospel I preached to you, which you received, and on which you have taken your stand. Now we will go our own ways, but we will always have the angel inside us. The lessons, memories, and experiences that we have had will always have a place in our hearts. Our hearts are forever grateful for the happiest of memories that Our Lady of Angels has given to us. For the rest of your life, the foundation here at OLA will always help you. Remember to be brave, be happy, be kind, be proud, dream big, and have confidence in yourself. Whether you're going to be a Wildcat, Padre, Lancer, Panther, Tiger, Crusader, Dawn, Yellow Jacket, or Gator, you will always be an angel."
Over these years, strong bonds and countless memories have been formed year after year. For these 9 years that we have been through, we have been thoroughly blessed in all ways. This experience has been a driving factor in all our lives, and we would not be the same without it. Even though we all have our differences, I am blessed to have each and every one of you as my classmates over these years. We have become a family, and I hope that we can hold this through high school and beyond. On behalf of the entire class of 2021, I want to say thank you, OLA, for everything. The experiences and opportunities that we have had here are endless. It is still so crazy that we are headed to high school in the fall. We have finally achieved the goal that we have worked so hard for. To be a bittersweet end. Our class will always hold a special place in my heart, and I'm sure it will in each of your hearts as well. You should be proud of yourselves. It makes me happy thinking about all the bright futures that lie ahead for all of us. Through challenges and difficulties, we have persisted. Wherever your path is taking you next year, remember that you will always be part of this family. Next year, it'll be a bit different than our 31% class that we were all accustomed to. We will meet new people and expand our talents and gifts. The excitement is present, but there's definitely nervousness too. Whether it is a new sport, challenging academics, a pronounced role in the high school play, or just meeting new people, I believe that we will all find what we are looking for. This is not the end, but just the beginning of a new chapter. I know that I wouldn't have it any other way than this. All love to everyone.
Congratulations to the class of 2021!
Great job, Emily. Great job. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2021. You should be extremely proud of the achievements that have led you here to this meaningful moment in your lives. To say that the past 15 months have been challenging is a gross understatement. You were thrust into distance learning last March. You lost your ability to play sports and hang out with friends. You finished 7th grade virtually and even began your 8th grade year the same way. This year you pivoted with every schedule change we threw at you, from full-time distance learning to hybrid learning and afternoon cohorts, to morning and afternoon cohorts, and finally all back together on campus for the last few months of the school year. Your perseverance and determination have been evident. You have faced incredible challenges and have risen to those challenges time and time again. Throughout your years here at OLA, you have grown into prayerful people, respectful and responsible citizens, innovative learners, dedicated Catholics, and effective communicators. In your eyes, it may seem like the 9 years from kindergarten to 8th grade took forever, more than half of your lifetime. In the eyes of your parents, it went by in the blink of an eye. You stand on the precipice of high school, the next 4 years of your academic journey. Those 4 years will fly by. But before we send you off, Ms. Burns and I would like to share some final life lessons from some familiar faces, the characters of Frozen.
First, don't shut your loved ones out. When Elsa was afraid of her powers, she shut Anna out of her life. Sometimes, when you're grieving or experiencing hardship, it can be tempting to shut out the people who love you and want to help. Letting them in can seem painful because you'll have to confront your emotions, or even risky because you'll have to trust them with your feelings. But you're only going to cause yourself more suffering if you insist on going through it alone. Always let at least one person in when things get tough. It may be difficult, but it will help in the long run. Choose a trusted person, whether it's a family member, a friend, or professional, and vent. Never keep things bottled up, as it will only make things worse. Don't shut the door, let them in.
Number 2, Some people are worth melting for. Who can deny the beautiful wisdom contained within this nugget from Olaf? There's never been a more better motto for friendship. As you journey off to high school, you will make new friends. Remember to surround yourself with people who build you up, who bring out the best in you, and who would do anything for you. Look around you and choose which people in your life are worth melting for, and then be ready to melt for them. The most beautiful thing of all is that they'll be ready to melt for you too.
Number 3, embrace your dreams no matter how unlikely they seem. Olaf's dream of experiencing summer sounds impossible to everyone who hears it, but that doesn't stop him from dreaming of sunshine. In the end, Elsa helps him make that dream a reality by giving him his own personal flurry, the perfect, simple solution that no one predicted. The moral of Olaf's story is that nothing is impossible, and you should never let menacing odds discourage you from dreaming. Now is the time to dream. You have limitless possibilities ahead of you. Don't limit yourself by your own self-doubt or the doubt of others. Dreams take hard work, and they don't happen overnight. Follow your dreams, commit to the work it takes to get you there, and while yes, your dreams may change, the journey that they take you on will be nothing short of remarkable.
Number 4, be yourself and don't ever apologize for it. Elsa was told since she was a young child to hold back and never show her powers or her true self. While she may have thought this was best for her, instead it made her fearful and unaware of who she really was. Growing up, many of you have felt this way. In order to fit in or make friends with certain people, you hid who you truly were on the inside and put on a facade to the rest of the world. Elsa's own fear and the consequences of this fear ended up being her own enemy and affected her relationships. This demonstrates the consequences of concealing who a person truly is and how it can negatively impact not only their self-esteem and view of themselves, but their relationships. People are sometimes scared of what they don't know, and because of that, being different can make you feel like you don't belong. Anytime you're tempted to think that way, just look at Elsa. The magic she was determined to conceal was beautiful and powerful all along. Be confident in who you are. Don't conform to anyone else's ideas of you. You are wonderfully made and blessed by God. What makes you different is often the same thing that makes you unstoppably powerful, unique, and amazing.
Number 5, let it go. Elsa said it best. The past is in the past. Whatever has happened to you, whatever choices you've made, whatever hurt you've felt before today, make a decision to let it all go right now. No amount of worrying will change the past, but it will rob you of your chance for happiness in the present. As you stand on the precipice of high school, let go of the person you were in elementary school. Spend time this summer reflecting on who you want to be in high school. Let go of your past and embrace your future. The possibilities are endless.
Number 6, love is the most powerful magic of all. Anna and Elsa saved each other's lives, and their actions weren't planned or premeditated. They saw someone they loved in danger, and they reacted with love. Frozen leaves us with the final message that even though this is a story about a girl gifted with ice powers, the real magic is the power of love between two sisters. Now, not all of you have siblings, but you all have families. Families who love you more than anything and will always be there for you. There is magic in that love. It is filled with never-ending forgiveness, constant support, and wanting the best for you. In high school, it may be easy to turn away from that love, to want to spend less time with your family and more time with your friends. That is a natural part of growing up, but don't ever forget that your family will always love you, no matter what.
Walt Disney said, "All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them." Decide now that you will have courage to share your problems with others. You will surround yourself with good friends. You will embrace your dreams. You will be unapologetically you. You will not be limited by the past. You will always count on the love of your family. Decide these things for yourself, and your dreams will come true. As graduates of a Catholic elementary school, you have learned to live a faith-filled life. Continue to nurture your relationship with God. It is through Him that all things are possible. As Proverbs 16 reminds us, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and your plans will remain strong. You will find great success in all you do as long as your faith remains strong.
Graduates, tonight is your night. Congratulations on this wonderful achievement. Never forget that OLA is always home. Congratulations. When the graduates are called forward to receive their diploma from Father Michael, they will also receive a graduation medal from Ms. Burns. Graduates, we ask you to hand your graduation medal to your parents, and parents, after the final name for graduation is called, we will ask you to help us with the presentation of the medals to the students. Diplomas are awarded to the following students who have completed the prescribed course of studies for Catholic elementary schools in the Archdiocese of San Francisco. Christine Aducci. Giada Jolene Araniki. William Botnager. Ryan Villagine. Ilaria Joan Rose Bronzini. Cassie Cafferkey. Cade Carcione. Myowa Carroll. Tolu Carroll. Olivia Caulfield. Zoe Corrigan. Dante Deloso. Jane Hicks. Amanda Marie Hughes. Jacob Camilla Jones. Jack Lucas. Luke Lewis. Ian James Maxwell. Anastasia Mifsud. Cooper B. Mills. Gabriel Ojeda. Michael Philpott. James Nicholas Polo. Riley Regan. Kelly Roach. Taylor Jane Rowe. Josephine Terry Lloyd. Mia Ella Alexandra Thorell. Patrick Turk. Wyatt Austin Walker. I now invite our parents and graduates to stand. Parents, please hold the graduation medal. As primary educators of your children, you have been the most important educator in your child's life. As such, the honor of presenting the OLA graduation medal is given to you. The medal symbolizes the completion of their elementary school and commemorates the many achievements of your child. We ask that you now place the medal around your child's neck and give them a hug. Congratulations to the class of 2021. Please be seated. Subject area awards are given to students who have excelled in a specific curriculum area. I would like to invite our junior high teachers forward to present their individual subject area awards. We are pleased to acknowledge these students for their scholastic achievement. First up is Mrs. Monica Ruane. This year's Literature Award recipient has a love of reading. The student engaged with the novels we read in class beyond the literal interpretation. She used her personal experiences and inferential skills to interpret the meaning. She consistently participated in class discussions
and it added personal insight and meaning to the conversation. The Literature Award goes to Chris Seducci.
Mrs. Julie Wilson is celebrating her daughter's high school graduation this weekend and is unable to be here, but I will read her statement. So she first says, I'm preparing for my daughter's graduation weekend today. I'm sorry I could not be here to present this award. The Science Award goes to a student who is not only an A+ student, but also a student who makes valuable contributions in class discussions, demonstrates pride in their work, and exhibits intellectual curiosity. Most importantly, and what Father Michael referred to yesterday at the Baccalaureate Mass, this student is exceedingly kind and concerned for others. Congratulations to Mia Thorell.
I'm Laura Letts, English Language Arts. This year was very stiff competition for the English Language Arts Award. I have the joy of watching these kids' writing skills flourish over the past 3 years. Some of the kids have a knack for fiction and craft, incredibly creative and engaging stories, while others are super inquisitive about the world around them and work hard to articulate ideas in their nonfiction work. If I took under consideration just those two things, almost every student would receive an award. One student, however, has stood out during my time with this class. This student is both creative and analytical. This student always presents work that has been completed carefully and with pride. This student has had many obstacles to overcome, yet never used those obstacles as an excuse to not get the job done. This student has consistently maintained an optimistic attitude, an honorable work ethic, as well as an average of 98% across both ELA and vocabulary classes. I am honored to present the English Language Arts Award to Anastasia Vivson. Well done, Anna.
Next up, we have Senor Verduga for the Spanish Award.
Buenas noches, mi nombre es José Verduga, profesor de español. My name is José Verduga, Spanish teacher. This year, this award was some students did a hard work, perseverance. I know Spanish as a foreign language is not easy for everybody, but you try, you can get it. And this year, the award was for Hilaria Broncini.
I would now like to invite forward Ms. Burns to give out the Mathematics, History, and Religion Awards.
The Mathematics Award goes to a student who not only excelled in mathematical concepts, but also showed incredible perseverance and dedication when faced with new and challenging topics. The recipient of the Mathematics Award is Jacob Joe. The History Award goes to a student who engaged enthusiastically in class throughout the year. This historian was able to interpret sources and develop ideas about the past. The recipient of the History Award is Jack Kokas. This year's Religion Award could have had many recipients. However, one student in particular is a constant reminder to us all of what it means to follow Jesus and live a faith-filled life. The recipient of this year's Religion Award is Taylor Rowe.
Next up is Mr. Matei to present the Technology and Music Awards.
The 2021 Technology Award is given to the student who has exceeded expectations in the technology program at Our Lady of Angels and has shown enthusiasm in class and is always willing to help their fellow classmates. This year's Technology Award goes to James Pohl. From singing in the children's choir to being a leader in class for Christmas programs and various school activities. This year's Music Award goes to Ian Maxwell.
The President's Award for Educational Excellence Gold Seal recognizes middle school graduates for academic excellence in classroom. Qualifications for this award include attaining a 3.75 grade point yearly average or above in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grades, and achieving above average scores on standardized tests in both reading and math. Congratulations to the following students for meeting the required criteria. Please hold your applause until the last name is read. Christina Ducci, William Botnager, Ilaria Bronzini, Zoe Corrigan, Amanda Hughes, Jacob Joe, Camilla Jones, and Anastasia Missid. The President's Award for Educational Achievement Silver Seal recognizes middle school graduates who show outstanding educational growth, improvement, commitment, and intellectual development in their academic subjects, maintaining a 3.5 to 3.74 grade point average in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grades. Congratulations to the following graduates for meeting the required criteria. Again, please hold your applause until the last name is read. Ryan Biagini, Gabe Carcioni, Dante Deloso, Jane Hipps, Luke Lewis, Cooper Mills, Taylor Rowe, Josie Terry Lloyd, Mia Thorell, and Patrick Turk. This year, several of our graduates have received recognition from their chosen high schools, and we are extremely proud of their accomplishments. Several of our graduates are the recipients of honors distinction at Universal High School. This prestigious award is based on a number of factors, including exemplary academic record, admission test results, and overall student profile. The recipients of this award are Ryan Biagini and Luke Lewis. St. Ignatius College Preparatory has awarded certificates to several of our graduates for honors at entrance and academic distinction. An honors at entrance certificate is awarded to Zoe Corrigan and Anastasia Mifsud. The following student was accepted with distinction at St. Ignatius: Amanda Hughes. Mercy High School's Geraldine J. Berry Seal Award was established in 2016 in memory of Jerry Berry Seal, class of 1939, by her son, Michael Seal. The recipient of this award is a young woman who attended Our Lady of Angels School, a student who comes to school each day determined to do her best, and who is committed to gaining the most from her Mercy education, which will prepare her for the real world. The $600 scholarship for the 2021-2022 school year is awarded to Olivia Caulfield. I would now like to invite forward Mr. Chris Conway, president of the OLA Men's Club, who will be introducing the presentation of the Men's Club Gary Norton Memorial Scholarship Award.
Good evening. My name is Chris Conway. I'm the president of the Men's Club here at Our Lady of Angels Parish. On behalf of the entire club, I'd like to congratulate the class of 2021 for all the hard work they have put forward over these years here at OLA to reach tonight's great accomplishment. I would also like to congratulate the parents of these graduates for the tremendous sacrifice you have made in order to provide your child with an exceptional education and experience these graduates will never forget. For the past 15 years, the Men's Club has given out awards to 8th graders who write the best essay about the life and service of a great man and a great parishioner. That man's name is Gary Norton. The contestants are not only some of the graduates right here with us tonight, they also include 8th graders from OLA's School of Religion. Today, we are honored to have Gary's daughter, Barbara, to share some thoughts about her father. Barbara, along with her sister, have read every letter, and this year we'll be picking the 2 winners. So please help me welcome Gary Norton's daughter, Barbara O'Connor.
First of all, I'd like to thank the OLA Men's Club for establishing this memorial scholarship for my dad in honor of him. Our family is deeply honored and humbled that you held him in such high regard. My father was very devoted to his family, his church, and his community. He was a man of few words, but a lot of action. And he had so much passion for Our Lady of Angels. In fact, when I was growing up, some of my friends were from OLA, and I went to public school, but everybody thought I went to OLA because we were here all the time. And he had a deep faith. In fact, his best friends were nuns and priests. And around Sunday night, where would Father Michael be, but at our house for dinner. So we grew up with strong faith, and he was a pure example of that. Service, I can go on to tell you how much he has volunteered for not only Our Lady of Angels Parish, but for the city of Burlingame. He was a man of his word and true to his commitments. And so this year, it was hard to pick one. I could have chosen all of them. But this year's recipient for the Gary Norton Memorial Scholarship Award is Mia Thoreau.
General Excellence Awards are presented to a boy and a girl graduate who have consistently demonstrated academic excellence and have attained the highest average GPA in the class throughout 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. We are pleased to award these plaques to Christina Ducci and William Botnager. The Our Lady of Angels School Angel Award is an award that is not necessarily presented each year. It is reserved for a student whom the OLA faculty and staff feel deserves special recognition. This year's recipient is a student who exemplifies school spirit. She has led the school with grace and enthusiasm, and she has shown incredible positivity in a year full of challenges. She is a true angel to all of us. I am incredibly proud to announce that this year's recipient of the Angel Award is Amanda Hughes. I would now like to invite Father Michael forward to present the Pastor's Award.
The OLA Pastors Award is also an award that is not necessarily given out every year. It is reserved for graduating 8th grade student who most exemplifies what it means to be an active Catholic, present at Sunday Masses, and frequently participating in parish events throughout their time at OLA. In addition to the plaque, the recipient receives a $200 scholarship from the parish funds. This year's recipient has been a faithful parishioner of OLA his entire life. He has been involved in children's choir, altar serving, and brown bag Sundays, just to name a few. This year's recipient of the Pastor's Award is Ian Maxwell.
Our final award this evening is the Principal's Award, which is presented to the student who most exemplifies what it means to be an OLA graduate. A prayerful person, a respectful and responsible citizen, an innovative learner, a dedicated Catholic, and an effective communicator. In addition to the plaque, the recipient of this award receives a $200 scholarship from the Student Council funds. And although many of our graduates could be the recipient of this award, one particular student stands out in the class of 2021 for his hardworking attitude, his respect for and treatment toward his classmates, fellow students, faculty, and staff, and his spirit and commitment to the OLA community. This year's recipient of the Principal's Award is Dante Deloso. It is always bittersweet to say goodbye to our graduates as they move on to high school. And it is even harder to say goodbye to our graduating families, those who say farewell to the many years of being an OLA school parent. We applaud you for your commitment to a faith-based education for your children and for the many hours of service that you have given to the school. Please come forward as I call your names and recognize your years of commitment to receive a small token from Mrs. McMorrow of appreciation from the entire OLA faculty and staff. You will all be deeply missed. Daniel and Sade Carroll, 3 years. You come forward. Amy and Janelle Araniki, 9 years. Daniel and Jonna Deloso, 9 years. Jason Ari Jones, 9 years. Michael and Nicole Lewis, 9 years. Sergio Ojeda and Carla Patron, 9 years. Joseph and Annette Polo, 9 years. Chris and Susan Rowe, 9 years. Pete and Cindy Aducci, 10 years. Michael and Kate Biagini, 12 years. Rajiv and Judy Botnager, 13 years. Jeff and Tiffany Mills, 13 years. John and Keith Thorell, 13 years. Ray and Joan Bronzini, 14 years. Kurt and Trish Walker, 17 years. It's a rare occasion that we have a family who has spent 20 years here at OLA. Tonight, I would like to invite Andy and Beth Maxwell forward to receive not only a bouquet of flowers, but a plaque commemorating their 20 continuous years of being OLA parents. I would like to invite Father Michael forward to lead us in a blessing of the graduates and a closing prayer.
And as we congratulate everybody tonight, I want you to know that those of you who receive plaques and awards and everything, these symbolize the spirit of our class, and everybody is a winner. And when the water rises, all boats rise. And in the success of every student, then every other student benefits as well. So congratulations to all of our students tonight. And as you rose in applause for Andy and Beth Maxwell.
I think I forgot a family. Did I call the Joes up? I don't think I did. I'm looking, I'm going, we're missing it, we have an extra bouquet. I am so sorry. Alfred and Nancy Joe, 9 years. I am so sorry.
Thank you.
Congratulations. But I think Andy was saying to me, Andy Maxwell, that apart from, and I may be wrong about this, but I think this is what he was saying, apart from 4 years, the Maxwell family have had a child at OLA for 60 years. I think that deserves a round of applause. So then with these wonderful celebrations tonight, we want to give thanks to God and say, gracious and loving God, you have prepared a new place for our graduates where they can continue to grow in wisdom. Be with them on their journey. Send your Son as a light to their path, and your Spirit as a strength to them for new beginnings. And we make our prayer through Christ our Lord. Amen.
So let's have one last round of applause for the class of 2021. So this concludes this evening's ceremony. I do have a few reminders. Graduates, you'll want to take your pins off. You take pictures, do all of that, but before you leave, make sure you take your pins off of your graduation gowns. You're going to meet Miss Burns and Mrs. McMorrow probably up by the Father Flavine room, their youth room, and you're going to turn in your gown. So keep your medal, keep your pins, keep all of that, but you have to turn in your gowns. That'll also give you your report cards as well when you turn your gowns. So that's another reason to remember. And then if I could ask parents and families to kind of help us stack chairs, just stack your own 5. That would be great. Thank you so much. Enjoy this tonight's evening. Thank you. Thank you.